Thank you, Adrian. Good afternoon, everyone. Two of the FA Cup's finest go head-to-head here in the third round at the Emirates. No one has won the famous competition more than Arsenal's 14 times. And, of course, Liverpool have a rich FA Cup history too, having lifted the trophy on 8 previous occasions. This is a game that provides all sorts of cup intrigue, as well as a potential look ahead to the title race that still has a long, long way to go. Very chilly late afternoon at the Emirates, and the floodlights are already on. These are the two sides. Ramsdale, the Arsenal goalkeeper, White, Saliba, Gabriel and Kivior, the defenders, Jorginho, Ødegaard and Rice in midfield. Saka, Nelson and Havertz are the front three. And Arsenal in all white today. This no more red kit, drained of its distinctive red, launched a couple of seasons ago now to support the long-standing work being done by Arsenal to help keep young people safe from knife crime and youth violence. The Liverpool side, and Liverpool all in purple today. Alisson the goalkeeper, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Quansah and Gomez the defenders, Elliott, McAllister and Jones in midfield. Gakpo, Diaz and Nunez are the front three. And I'll give you both sets of subs as well. For Arsenal, Cedric, Martinelli, Nketiah, Nwaneri, Raya, Smith-Rowe, Walters, Sousa and Trossard. And for Liverpool, Chambers, Clark, Jota, Bradley, McConnell, Gordon, Kelleher, Gravenberch and Nione. And now 60,000 on their feet at Emirates Stadium, including more than 7,500 who've made the trip from Merseyside to support Liverpool today, as the Arsenal anthem North London Forever rings around this stadium here. We saw a thriller between these two sides at Anfield just before Christmas. That ended in a 1-1 draw, hoping for a similarly entertaining encounter this afternoon, this evening. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I've got to say, I think Trent Alexander is on absolutely top form at the moment. I've been very impressed with Harvey Elliott whenever he's come off the bench and supplemented things for Liverpool, and obviously in Arsenal's ranks as well. Always interested looking at Declan and seeing how he's doing in midfield, and Saka on this side of the pitch will pose a real threat to Liverpool.
It is Arsenal against Liverpool, and it really could be a third round classic. Liverpool will get us underway in just a few moments, all in purple, playing from right to left towards the North Bank, and Arsenal all in white, and they will start the game from left to right towards the clock end, which, as I say, is mostly occupied by Liverpool supporters. 153 years of age, the FA Cup remains the oldest and greatest domestic cup competition in the world, and just like you, we're always up for the cup on Talk Sport. Liverpool have got the game off and underway. A long ball immediately high downfield. The header away by Saliba for Arsenal. And now Havertz dropping into Liverpool territory and finding Reece Nelson on the halfway line. Ibrahim Konate gets a tackle in, and Arsenal win the game's first throw on the near side there right. And Ben White will take it in this all-white away strip. Our commentary position just to the right of the halfway line, directly behind the Liverpool dugout. We're only about 20-30 rows from where Jurgen Klopp is standing. Lots of noise in North London, and Arsenal and Liverpool looking for a fast start. The long throw from White up the near side right channel, hooked away by Joe Gomez for Liverpool. Nunez can't get it under control, and Arsenal have it back with Gabriel, who will roll the ball all the way to the feet of Aaron Ramsdale, making just his 10th appearance of the season this afternoon. 0-0.
Yeah, Joe, just looking at Liverpool's line-up here, we thought that Gakpo might play in Salah's favoured position, just out on the flank there, but it is in fact Harvey Elliott, isn't it? And Gakpo's playing a sort of number 10 role, that advanced midfield area.
Elliott, who has been a regular in cup competitions, in particular for Liverpool this season, his 10th cup start. No Mo Salah, no Endo either for Liverpool, and Arsenal without Gabriel Jesus, who's injured. Nunez has tried to poke the ball square to the edge of the Arsenal penalty area, hacked up into the sky by Jakub Kivior, out of play for a Liverpool throw just inside Arsenal territory on the near side of the field. 90 seconds gone on Talk Sport. Tomorrow night we'll bring you cup commentary from Wigan against Manchester United, and by the end of Monday we'll have brought you 9 third round commentaries. And remember, you can have your say on all of the weekend's action, with the final word with Majestic and Alan Pardew which comes after us here at the Emirates Stadium. And tomorrow morning from 6, Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoist will be back for TalkSport Breakfast. Here's Gabriel in the centre circle, rolling the ball back for Ramsdale, all in black, on a bitterly cold late afternoon in North London. Long ball downfield, and Nelson will reach it. He's in, he's round Addison. Nelson, the angle tight. Oh, he's put it into the side netting. One straight long ball downfield, and Reece Nelson put through on goal. He was away from Ibrahima Konate, rolled it around Addison, but from the dead ball line, he couldn't find the target. It stays out of play. Big early layoff for Liverpool, 0-0.
Well, it was a splendid forward pass by Ramsdale that sailed over the top of Konate, and Nelson really, as it's bounced once, he should just be side-footing it over the top of the goalkeeper as Alisson advanced into no man's land. He didn't do that, he went round him and the angle got too tight for him.
You might remember there was a Premier League thriller between these two at Emirates Stadium last season, which Arsenal won by 3-2. They scored even earlier on in that game, and very nearly taking the lead early on here in the third round of the FA Cup. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0 is the latest score, live on TalkSport. Forward by McAllister with the white boots on to Diaz, who turns away from Rice in the centre circle. Rice snapping at his heels. Diaz with a beautiful ball out to the far side, and Kivior's missed it. Elliott could be in. Early cross steered away by Gabriel. He was aiming for Darwin Nunez, and Elliott retrieves possession. Down on the far side, the right, and he's gone down, and he's won a free kick about 10 yards from the corner flag.
Well, what we've got, Joe, straight away is a very, very open game, swinging from end to end, and both teams playing at high energy, high revs, and defensively you wonder whether either can handle each attack.
And just the sort of game that we were hoping for. Manchester City through 5-0 over Huddersfield in favour of the holders in the FA Cup earlier on in the commentary that we brought you. Leeds, Wrexham and West Bromwich Albion also through. There are FA Cup replays to come. I'll tell you about those in a moment. But first, the Liverpool free kick. Right wing position at the North Bank end of Emirates Stadium. Elliott and Alexander-Arnold over it. Alexander-Arnold to float it in high right-footed, and it's too long for everybody in those Liverpool purple shirts today. And Gabriel will let the ball trickle out to play, White rather, for a throw on the near side of the field in the Arsenal right-back position. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, the Arsenal shirts here, for obviously those who have not got their eyes on a screen or whatever, certainly off-putting, isn't it? You can't see the numbers, they're white on a white background, and no names either, so it's really off-putting.
The first time Arsenal have ever worn this all-white kit in a home game, and all part of the No More Red campaign. A lot of work being done by Arsenal Football Club to keep young people safe from knife crime. Ben White has possession for Arsenal, right in front of Mikel Arteta. Arteta only a couple of feet behind him. Arteta, who led Arsenal to the FA Cup in 2020, their last major trophy, headed by Rice just inside the Liverpool half. Saka trying to bring it down, nudged over him by Joe Gomez, out of play, and another Arsenal throw right in front of us, about 15 yards into the Liverpool half. 5 minutes gone and an energetic start, but no chances as yet. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0 it remains, and Arsenal attacking the end that houses those massed travelling thousands from Liverpool. Flicked header by Jorginho towards the edge of the penalty area, steered away by Jarell Quansah. Upfield for Liverpool, the young centre-half, 20 years of age. Arsenal have won it back though, and here is Saka tearing forward, playing it square to Ødegaard, on the edge of the D, onto Nelson, angle against him. Nelson back to goal, sets up Kivior, and that's let the momentum of the attack go away. Arsenal still have possession, but they're not in the penalty area anymore. They're about midway inside the Liverpool half. Jorginho forward to Nelson, who's wearing gloves today in the cold. Nelson with Liverpool having funneled plenty back behind the ball. Everybody in a purple shirt in a defensive position here as Saka looks to dart in field again on the right hand side. This time he's tackled by Gomez.
Yeah, as I say, Arsenal recycled the ball really well there when the attack ran aground, but I can't help thinking that Ødegaard looked as though he had a really good shooting opportunity on his left foot for a curler into the far corner, and he turned it down.
A long throw by White, cleverly done to find Ødegaard in the penalty area. He made a late run to the dead ball line, cut it back towards Kai Havertz, scrambled away by Konate. Another Arsenal throw. Goalless on TalkSport as Gomez nudges the ball out of play again. Declan Rice is quickly across to retrieve it in that all-white kit, and he'll leave the throw for White to take again. Jurgen Klopp in his trademark baseball cap, hands in pockets on the near side touchline. Every time Arsenal come forward, the Arsenal fans in front of us in this lower tier of the West Stand are all out on their feet. Long throw from White, finds Ødegaard again, sees it back to the edge of the box, and Nelson deflected behind, and that'll be a corner surely to Arsenal. It is. It's a throw-in that really looked like a training ground routine. White looking for Ødegaard, he tucked it back, Jorginho slid in, Nelson shot behind for a corner.
Yeah, it's a throw-in that certainly in my time at West Ham we adopted, with Kufel getting Bowen in on the touchline, on the dead ball line, and Arsenal have done it twice in quick succession. Liverpool really should have worked it out after the first one.
The first corner of the game inside the 8th minute, 0-0 in the third round of the FA Cup. Bukayo Saka left-footed it into the near post, and Havertz tried to bungle it home, he couldn't do so. Gabriel was lurking as well. Liverpool survive again. Arsenal had possession with Ødegaard, the captain, level the edge of the Liverpool 18-yard area. Tracking back is McAllister and Luis Diaz as well. Liverpool can't clear effectively enough, and Arsenal have it back again. Lovely flick by Ødegaard to find Havertz. 25 yards out, shoots, and saved down low to his right by Alisson, who picks up the second ball. But it's Arsenal who've made the faster start of the two sides.
Yeah, they certainly have. As I say, really good play there by Arsenal, putting pressure on Liverpool, and some good interchange of play. Ødegaard at the centre of most things.
You can hear the noise of the supporters here at Emirates Stadium. Mikel Arteta has said that he's really happy with the atmosphere that's been created here over recent weeks, over the last season or so. He says the next step is to make it more hostile. Liverpool, you feel, won't necessarily be intimidated by the atmosphere. One defeat in their last 12, in very good form, and of course they are the Premier League leaders. 5 points between these two teams in the title race. Clearance by Alisson, all in bright orange today. Upfield, and Saka with the interception. Looks to thread it up the inside right channel towards the run of Havertz, but Quansah's there to steer it upfield for Liverpool. Won back very quickly by Saliba. Arsenal have comfortable possession on the halfway line. Saliba in the centre circle, quick ball to Jorginho. Arsenal moving the ball very accurately and incisively early on here.
Yeah, sorry Joe, they're finding more room in this game. As I say, Liverpool have dropped back and banked in now in numbers, but prior to that they're finding more room in this game than certainly they have in the 3 games previous.
And Nelson on the far side, the left, he's driving up the far side of the field. He's being held up by Alexander-Arnold, and Gakpo snapping at his heels to try and win it back as well. Arsenal recycle possession. It's Jorginho forward to Ødegaard on the edge of the D. Can he get a shot away? Trying to push it into the feet of Havertz, crowded up by a sea of Liverpool purple shirts, and then Diaz goes down under pressure from Saka and eventually gets the free kick from the referee John Brooks, much to the disdain of many an Arsenal fan in front of us, who they all leap out of their seats in anger.
Yeah, well done to John Brooks. He tried to let play go, whether you think it's a foul or not. He certainly tried to let play go and give it its best opportunity to see to a finish. And Saka's just on his haunches at the moment. I think he's got a little knock on his knee, I think.
And now he's on his feet. We'll keep an eye on Bukayo Saka. Mikel Arteta watching on in his dark jacket from the near side touchline. And Liverpool in Carabao Cup action as early as Wednesday at home to Fulham. And both legs of that Carabao Cup semi-final will be live on TalkSport. We've got Middlesbrough against Chelsea on Tuesday, Hull against Norwich on Friday in the Championship on TalkSport 2. Make sure you download our app to be across all of the action. It's free, easy to download, and you can swipe between both TalkSport and TalkSport 2 at your leisure. Liverpool in possession with Gomez in the left-back position. 10.5 minutes gone, and Arsenal have won it back. Saka through to Havertz, angled tight, he squares it. Nelson can't turn it home. It's come to Ødegaard against the bar. Now Jorginho trying to tee up Nelson. The shot is blocked again. This time Saka denied by Alexander-Arnold. Arsenal really profligate in these early stages. They've had 3-4 really good opportunities. They should be at least a couple of goals ahead. Somehow it's still 0-0.
Well, they've come out there, great interchange. Liverpool giving it away cheaply on the edge of their box, as you see, week in, week out. And a great pullback was blocked. Then the shots hit the bar and come out. And in the end, it was scrambled away. I'm just looking from a tactical point of view here. Jorginho's doing a really good job on Trent Alexander. He's going into that advanced midfield area.
Oh, but McAllister's deflected pass with the middle could reach Nunez. Eventually White comes across in the right back position to shepherd it back to Aaron Ramsdale. What a start to the game. Only missing a goal really so far. Live on TalkSport. And Liverpool just about holding firm as Kanate bumps the ball downfield. It's met by the firm head of Declan Rice. Scooped long by Trent Alexander-Arnold up into the dark evening sky, and Nunez could be in behind Saliba. Saliba goes to ground. Nunez had his arms all over the back of the Frenchman Saliba, and that's a free kick to Arsenal, which they take quickly.
Yeah, Saliba, I think he's looking for his goalkeeper to come and bail him out a little bit there, but Ramsdale wasn't having any of it.
Electric start to the game. Saka marauding infield, blocked off bravely by Quansah, and then sliding in was White on Diaz. Diaz goes down. He was caught by the challenge. White certainly got plenty of the ball. All of the Arsenal fans out of their seats in front of us again, and Jurgen Klopp just looks across towards the referee. Liverpool under siege a little bit in the early stages, but they of course do have the quality to respond.
Joe, we've just seen two brilliant tackles, one by Arsenal, one by Liverpool, full-blooded tackles. The referee said nothing wrong with that whatsoever, and I think the crowd appreciate that.
Thank goodness VAR didn't take a look at it, Stuart.
Two sendings off without a doubt, we've just seen.
Well, if you're going to go back to Crystal Palace against Everton and that bizarre decision, I don't think anybody in football agreed with.
I was just saying earlier about Jorginho. Every time on the Liverpool build, he's looked to get in and around Trent Alexander, who's on the ball at this moment in time.
Midway inside the Arsenal half, central position, floats it forward beautifully towards Nunez, headed away by Saliba, flicked further clear by White. Gomez is up down the left wing for Liverpool here, and Diaz stretching to keep it in play. He does that brilliantly down by the dead ball line. I think the Arsenal fans behind the goal thought it was handball. I thought it came off the shoulder of Diaz, and he's managed to keep it in play, and Liverpool have possession midway inside the Arsenal half. Liverpool playing from right to left.
Yeah, you definitely get the feeling without Salah there is something missing. You know, talk of him going to Saudi or whatever, he'll be a massive loss at this football club if that ever did happen.
Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0 it remains. Salah could miss as many as 8 Liverpool matches, depending on their progression in the FA Cup and depending on how far Egypt go at AFCON. Jones is fouled by Odegaard, free kick rightly given by the referee, who certainly doesn't look overwrought in these early stages amid a frenetic atmosphere in North London. And 14 minutes gone and we're still awaiting the opening goal. Now Arsenal may rue their missed chances. Forward by Alexander-Arnold, chested away by Gabriel, stooping to nudge it clear. Liverpool win it back with Alexis McAllister, the number 10, midway inside the Arsenal half, up to Gakpo. Wide right is Elliott. Elliott is level with the edge of the penalty area, plays it backwards, and now Alexander-Arnold out to Curtis Jones. Jones on that far side, the Liverpool right. Alexander-Arnold sets up Jones again in the penalty area, too much on the pass, and it's through to Aaron Ramsdale.
Well, this game's caught our eye after 15 minutes because of some of the clinical play and interchange of passing. But I tell you what, both teams have done really well. They've not let each other settle on the ball. They're shutting down, they're tackling, and I'm talking about both teams here. The pressure they put on the ball is so good, and it's creating opportunities.
Two FA Cup greats going head-to-head here this afternoon. Liverpool, the 8 times FA Cup winners. Arsenal, 14 times have lifted the famous trophy. As Nelson can't control a pass threaded up the far side, the left wing position. Liverpool have possession now, and those travelling supporters are in full voice at the clock end of the stadium. Here is Quansah with the white boots on, forward towards Nunez, who's in a battle tussling with Saliba, and Nunez has held it up brilliantly, Liverpool's number 9. Plays the ball to the right back position in Alexander-Arnold, onto Gakpo. Gakpo streaks over halfway, Elliott to his right hand side, forward up the inside right channel to Diaz, now back out further wide to Elliott, level with the edge of the box, infield to Gakpo again. Liverpool building an attack here and starting to enjoy more possession, certainly than they had in the opening 15 minutes or so. Liverpool really settling into the game now. Yeah, touch infield by Jones, he's given it away.
Yeah, they've just managed to avoid the press and play through the press a couple of times. A good hold up play there by Nunez gets the team up the pitch that much further.
Stuart Pearce with us in the commentary box on Talk Sport on this early January afternoon. Arsenal against Liverpool in the 3rd round of the FA Cup, and 0-0 to score. Kivior plays the ball infield to Jorginho. He's midway inside the Liverpool half under very little pressure. Rice just pops the ball back to the halfway line, where Jorginho, the Italian, collects. An FA Cup runner-up 3 times when he was at Chelsea. And Jorginho trying to thread the ball through the middle towards the run of Kai Havertz, who's playing in that central striking role for Arsenal today. And Nketiah, Martinelli and Trossard all left on the bench. It's a role, of course, that we've seen Havertz play before. Here's Quansah. game just settling down, Stuart, for the first time, it feels like.
Yeah, well, listen, the first 15 minutes or so have been absolutely frenetic. I've got to say, both teams, high energy, good passing, equally good pressing as well.
Addison on the ball, the Liverpool goalkeeper, just chips it to his right, and Konate, long legs to the centre half, aiming to stride forward towards the halfway line, out to his right, and Gakpo, and now Gakpo to Konate once more, midway inside his own half of the field. Raucous noise all around Emirates Stadium. Liverpool fans away to our right are waving red and white scarves up into the air. Elliott nudges the ball to his right, and Gakpo is 15 yards into Arsenal territory. He's meandered across into a central position. Arsenal have plenty of white shirts behind the ball. Here is Alexander-Arnold back to Elliott once more. Elliott infield to Kwanzaa. Everybody inside the Arsenal half, bar the Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson. 0-0 it remains. Here is Alexander-Arnold again. Now Konate, lip of the centre circle, having to turn away awkwardly from Havertz, who puts the pressure on. Konate manages to steer the ball towards the right, and Gakpo on the halfway line.
What both teams do, they press well, but they also get big numbers when they're in possession in the opposition's defensive line. So if you do lose it, you're in big trouble because you're short of numbers at the back.
Liverpool have lost possession on the halfway line here. Jorginho to the right back position, and Ben White. And now back to Saliba, getting colder and colder in North London. Arsenal have the ball with Ødegaard, back to Saliba once more. Good football on show from both sides so far, as you'd expect. An encounter that has been so thrilling over so many years and decades in all sorts of competitions. And already this afternoon, it's been very entertaining. Back it goes to Aaron Ramsdale, the Arsenal goalkeeper. David Raya on the bench today. 03717223344 to have your say later on the final word with Majestic and Alan Pardew on Talk Sport once we're done here. And then tomorrow night, Wigan against Manchester United. That's live from the FA Cup third round. Here is Jorginho, the pivot of the Arsenal midfield, dropping deep almost in between the two centre halves, and a stalemate at the moment in the middle of midfield. Arsenal have possession, Liverpool unwilling to let them pass. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, certainly from Arsenal's point of view, for all the good play we've had, the best chance from Arsenal has come from the goalie kicking it down the middle of the pitch and chasing it.
Also in the FA Cup today, Nottingham Forest 2, Blackpool 2, so replay for the League One side. Luton 0, Bolton 0, and West Ham 1, Bristol City 1. And Liverpool now with Gomez in the left back position, trying to wriggle away from both Ødegaard and Saka, but he loses out to Declan Rice. Arsenal have it with Jorginho in the centre circle. Dropping deep is Nelson to retrieve possession. Nelson, and now Rice, diligent look towards White to his immediate right, and Arsenal keep the ball, neat triangular passing involving Rice, White and Saka, and now Saliba on the halfway line, and suddenly neither side looks willing to really force the issue. That said, floated forward by Saliba to find Nelson on the corner of the penalty area. Nelson holds it up well in front of Konate. Saka corner of the box, onto that favoured left foot, tries to whip it across, headed away. It's come back out to the near side again, and Ødegaard once more. Havertz is at the far post. Ødegaard little 1-2 with Nelson. This time he's blocked off by Alexis McAllister, the World Cup winner. Forward by Gabriel, sliced left-footed towards the near side. Not sure what he was thinking with the pass, really. It's trickled out of play, and it's a Liverpool throw.
Yeah, just going back to that point earlier about forward passes, I think Arsenal have kept possession really well, but every now and then they've got to mix things up a little bit and look to put, as they did just then, a Nelson run across the line, just put him in the inside right position.
And here is Gomez again for Liverpool in that left back spot. A very eye-catching draw when the third round draw was made. The fourth round draw tomorrow evening, and we'll bring it to you on Talk Sport. Surging over the halfway line is Alexander-Arnold. He's being tracked all the way by Nelson. Forward up the inside right channel to Darwin Núñez. Dead ball line, he crosses right-footed, steered behind by White. He had to, because Gakpo is coming in at the far post, and Liverpool win themselves a corner. And Liverpool, after a hesitant start, have really arrived in the game now.
Yeah, they certainly have, and that's dovetailed with the fact that Trent Alexander's just got on the ball a couple of times, just played forward passes through the lines, and he's the one. It's strange to say, I suppose this day and age, a right back is the creative force.
And football has changed.
It used to be left backs, my friend, I can assure you.
That's where you come in. Corner to Liverpool. at the North Bank. Whipped in by Elliott, left-footed, headed down by Darwin Núñez and headed 4-5 yards wide.
I'll tell you what, that was a brilliant opportunity for Núñez, and that probably sums him up. He works really hard for the team, creates a lot of opportunities, and he's attacked the ball brilliantly from about 7 yards out. He's rose above everybody, unchallenged, and it's skewed off his head and wide.
Forward by Saliba up towards the halfway line. Havertz is outmuscled by Ibrahima Konaté. It's still Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. As we tick towards the midway point in the first half, live and exclusive on TalkSport. You can't hear this game anywhere else on national radio. Now then, Arsenal on the attack. Kivior over the halfway line. He's got Nelson to his immediate left. Nelson on the corner of the penalty area. Running up McAllister. He's gone down. Alexander-Arnold came across with the challenge. And the referee points for a goal kick.
I'll tell you what, he's done well there, the referee. Credit to Nelson. As soon as he received the ball, he drove at Trent Alexander. And just looking at the replay there, it was just body on body. I think he just lost his foot and he was going that quick.
Yeah, no real contact between the two. Reece Nelson making his 4th start of the season this afternoon. All of those have come in cup competitions. Up against the former FA Cup winner Alexander-Arnold, of course part of the Liverpool side that won this competition 2 years ago. Havertz with his back to goal, tried to lead into the feet of Saka, well intercepted by Quansah, and fired upfield by Alexander-Arnold with Darwin Núñez on the chase. Has he got the pace to beat the defender? Good work in the end by Saliba, getting in front of Núñez, and he manages to roll it back to Aaron Ramsdale, and Arsenal play the ball up through the defensive third towards the halfway line.
I've got to say, what a superb ball that was by Trent Alexander. It's just come back to him without even looking. He's played a 50-yard pass with a bit of curl up the touchline.
Harvey Elliott down the Liverpool right, crosses in, headed away by Saliba once more for Arsenal. Tracking back is Nelson to retrieve the second ball, and Rice back to Gabriel, who scoops it high up into the dark afternoon sky. The floodlights very much on here. It's Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0 in the FA Cup on TalkSport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup 18+. Please drink responsibly. Gakpo wins a free kick, much to the displeasure of the Arsenal fans on the far side. Jorginho made the challenge, but referee John Brooks was in no doubt, and I think he's refereed the game very well so far.
Yeah, it astounds me why a player like Jorginho is berating the referee when we look at the replay and he's literally dragging Gakpo back by his shirt, and you think, what you're thinking about?
Hands all over the back of Gakpo, and a free kick to Liverpool midway inside the Arsenal half, about 10 yards infield. Elliott and Alexander-Arnold are standing over it. And plenty of purple shirts forward for Liverpool, a long line of players on the edge of the 18-yard line. Are we going to see the breakthrough here at Emirates Stadium? Elliott whips it in high, left-footed, and a looping header will be gathered by Ramsdale. Quansah was up there, and Ramsdale takes the ball high midway inside his penalty area. Quick throw out underarm to Havertz. Havertz over the halfway line. Good interception on the slide by Quansah, tracking back. Very impressive display from a young man who has often looked assured at the heart of the Liverpool back line. Arsenal win it back though, and here is Ødegaard tearing forward up the middle. He's got Nelson to his left. Nelson back to Kivior, 10 yards into the Liverpool half, and now Jorginho strokes it back to the halfway line where Saliba is waiting with those sky blue boots on. Square pass to Gabriel, angles his pass out to the left, and Nelson is there. Nelson back to the halfway line. Arsenal content to keep possession. Here is Rice dropping a little deeper onto halfway, and now White playing it square to Saliba again.
I'd just like to see, we've got Saka right in front of us playing, and I know as a fullback what you don't want is them sort of coming short and spinning quickly in behind and mixing their game up slightly, and I'd just like to see Saka do that, threaten the back of Gomez's shoulder and in behind him on occasion.
A lot of talk about Saka in the build-up to the game and whether he is specifically targeted. Saka driving forward to the middle and poking it square into the path of Kivior, onto Nelson. Nelson the penalty area, lays it back. Saka shoots low and he's dragged it, and it was a simple save for Addison away to his left-hand side. And there's a Liverpool player down. It's Konaté who's gone to ground midway inside his own half, and he'll probably have to receive some treatment, so the game will be stopped. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0 after 26 minutes, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, it looks as though he's got a tap on the face by the looks of it from Saka running across the pitch. And good play there by Saka. Come off his perch, played a series of 1-2s, and it was him who got the shot away, albeit a rather poor one that the goalkeeper had no problems with.
Mikel Arteta said this week the club are in daily, weekly communication with the PGMOL, but nothing specifically to do with Bukayo Saka. He said, we know we have wingers that provoke a lot of tackles and fouls. Only 2 players have been fouled more than Bukayo Saka in the Premier League this season. Bruno Guimaraes and Jordan Ayew. And Saka has looked lively at times tonight, but the score remains 0-0.
Yeah, I find it quite comical, Joe, that people turning around and saying he's being targeted. Listen, if all the coaches in the country have not turned around to their respective fullbacks and said, by the way, make sure you get nice and tight to Saka and don't let him run at you.
This guy's decent.
You deserve the sack.
The free kick to Arsenal here, 10 yards shy of the halfway line. Konate, by the way, looks to be moving okay. The Liverpool centre-half, having gone down initially, didn't actually need any treatment in the end. Quickly to his feet. And a free kick to Arsenal about 15 yards shy of the halfway line. Martin Odegaard has hit the bar. Reece Nelson went round Alisson but couldn't find the target from a very tight angle. Darwin Núñez has had a good headed chance that went 5 or 6 yards wide from Liverpool for a good position. Hasn't scored since Boxing Day, Núñez, and of course a lot of the onus will be on him, though ably supported by the colleagues around him on the field. Forward by Kivior, up the far side left channel for Arsenal. Havertz collects possession. Havertz left wing, pulls it back to Odegaard. Good vision by Gomez to make the interception. Arsenal have it though with Rice. 40 yards out, slightly right of centre. Further wide is White, on to Bukayo Saka. 2 in the middle to Ayew. Odegaard on the overlap. Odegaard crosses, in comes Havertz. Headed away by Alexander-Arnold, well defended by Liverpool. Now Jorginho on the edge of the D. Forward to Havertz again. It could run through towards Nelson. Good interception by Alexander-Arnold again. He had to come across from the right back position, dribble along the 6-yard line and hoist it brilliantly clear towards Diaz. What a pass that was to potentially turn defence into attack. Liverpool have had to hold the play up inside their own half of the field, but I tell you what, he doesn't always get the credit that he deserves, Alexander-Arnold, when he does a tremendous piece of defending like that.
I tell you what, he's on top form at the moment. I've watched Liverpool a couple of times of recent weeks, and he is the one most likely to supply a pass to create a goal, and as he's shown there, good defensive nous.
Not so much of that from McAllister, who's been dispossessed. Odegaard racing forward to the edge of the box, lays it square. Here is Havertz onto his left foot. Havertz shoots. Oh, he got it all wrong. He seemed to kick the turf and it just spun up off the top of his boot, chipped up into the air, and easy for Alisson to make the save. And Arsenal miss another good opportunity with Liverpool almost caught out at the back.
Yeah, it was Declan Rice there turning the ball over, and you've got to be careful playing in this game. You get pressed. People get tight with you. You get pressed, and they're good goal scoring opportunities. And then from there, probably just highlighted, Joe, what Arsenal are lacking and probably need in this transfer window. A centre forward that could turn that half effort into a goal.
Well, it's been long talked about. We were talking about it in the press room before the game, and Nketiah on the bench today for Arsenal. Gabriel Jesus out with a minor knee injury, we're told. Appeals for handball against Alexander-Arnold on the halfway line. That feels like the whole of the Emirates on its feet to appeal, but not given by either the assistant referee nor the on-field referee, John Brooks.
Yeah, I think the ball's been played forward and Nelson's just helped it on, and Trent Alexander was so close to him. I'm not sure that's deliberate handball.
Half an hour gone and 0-0. If you want to look back on the weekend's football and look ahead to our commentary of Wigan against Manchester United tomorrow, and no better place to do it than on TalkSport Breakfast tomorrow morning from 6. Jeff Stelling and Annie McCoist will be back. That's followed by White and Jordan from 10 till 1. Now here's Konate for Liverpool. Midway inside his own half the field. Still goalless somehow. And Gomez in the left back position, right-footed high pass up the middle, long towards Darwin Núñez, headed away by Gabriel, thumped further clear by Kivior. Some of these raking balls from Liverpool are a joy to watch at times. They are measured with the utmost precision, particularly off the boot of Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, they certainly are, and I think Arsenal probably can take a leaf out of their books a little bit. I'd like to see them play more forward passes. They're more intricate, they're a little interchanges, but I think they need to mix it up slightly.
Arsenal, who have won only one of their last 6, had a dominant performance against West Ham at home in terms of possession, in terms of XG, but couldn't find the breakthrough and were beaten by 2-0. In the FA Cup, they've only lost 3 of their last 49 home matches. The last against Manchester United in the 2018-2019 season. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. Diaz steers the ball infield, the flick forward by McAllister towards the halfway line, and Jones has evaded Saliba. Jones darts forward into the Arsenal half. He's got support to his right from Elliott. Jones is 5 yards from the corner of the penalty area now, threads the ball up the inside right channel to Gakpo. Further wide is Elliott again, infield with his left foot to find Diaz. Arsenal with everybody back behind the ball. Liverpool is still on the attack here though. Gakpo with the bright yellow boots on, infield to Elliott, 25 yards out, trying to wriggle away from the challenge of Nelson. He can't do so. Havertz can't lead the Arsenal break. Nelson goes back to Gabriel, who thunders it upfield. Header away by Quansah, cleverly brought down by Gomez, who stabs it up the left wing position towards Nunez. Back is Saliba. Saliba tries a couple of half tackles, but he can't win it back off Nunez, who tried to steer the ball infield. It's come back to Rice inside his own penalty area. Heavy touch from Rice, but he managed to evade Jones. Wide to the right back position, and Ben White is under pressure from Jones, and Jones wins it back firmly but fairly. Oh, and there's a coming together between Jones and White shoves him to the ground, and the referee gives penalises Arsenal and gives Liverpool a free kick right by the corner flag.
Yeah, I've got to say Curtis Jones done extremely well there. Turned the ball over in the corner flag, got his team possession, and when White felt as though he was just going to play it back and play safe after turning it over, done a sort of 180, didn't he, and swivelled round and knocked the ball the other side of White and forced him into a foul.
And so a free kick to Liverpool away to our left in front of the North Bank, where the Arsenal fans are on their feet behind that goal. Plenty of purple shirts forward for Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold, Elliott again standing over it. It's only 3-4 yards in field from where the corner flag is. Liverpool and Arsenal substitutes warming up behind the would-be takers, and it'll be left to Alexander-Arnold here to swing it in right-footed. Loud noise in North London. 0-0 the score on TalkSport in the third round of the FA Cup. Driven in high by Alexander-Arnold, and it loops onto the roof of the net. Ramsdale stuck one arm up into the air, and he probably had it covered.
Yeah, probably the first giveaway pass that we've seen from Trent Alexander. Just overcooked it, got good curl on it, whipping it in from this left-hand side, but certainly overcooked it onto the roof of the net.
England legend Stuart Pearce with me for commentary today. Manchester City through in the FA Cup earlier. The Holders beat Huddersfield. Leeds beat Peterborough by 3-0. Shrewsbury 0, Wrexham 1, West Brom 4, Aldershot 1. West Ham Bristol City goes to a replay, as does Luton Bolton, and Nottingham Forest against Blackpool finished 2-2. So there'll be a replay at Bloomfield Road. Blackpool with their great FA Cup history of the past. Gabriel for Arsenal. Out to the left-back position in Kivior. Forward to Nelson, dropping 10 yards into his own half. Back to Jorginho it goes. A little bit of impatience, I think, among some of the home supporters now. And Arsenal have given it away. And Liverpool poised to pounce with McAllister. McAllister to the edge of the box, and Jones, corner of the penalty area, surrounded by white shirts. He'll do well to hold on to it. He couldn't. Saliba there to win it back. Rare that you see Saliba give the ball away. And now he feeds Ødegaard. Ødegaard over the halfway line quickly towards Havertz. Havertz down the near side, the right. There are two in the middle, but Havertz is flagged offside.
Yeah, potentially tight one there, but I think the linesman on that occasion certainly got that wrong. They rarely get decisions wrong. And once again, look how tight that is, and he's got it right. You know, they're so good at their job.
We've got the benefits of monitors in our commentary position, and Havertz less than half a yard offside possibly, but just about in an offside position.
Yeah. Just looking at Liverpool, looking to play. They've played the odd straight ball, and you've got Declan Rice. He hunts you down like a lion tracking a wildebeest on occasion, doesn't he, you know?
No, I'm going to let you run with that one. Headed away by Saka towards halfway. Up goes the flag on the far side, and a free kick to Arsenal this time. Midway inside their own half of the field. Here is Rice. 10 yards shy of the halfway line. Rice chips the ball forward, up the right wing position towards Saka. Saka taking on Gomez, he's one-on-one here. Corner of the 18-yard box, Saka crosses, blocked by Gomez, who stood up well to Bukayo Saka. Saka turns it back to White, onto Ødegaard, who's suddenly got a pocket of space. Inside the area, but the angle against him. Ødegaard chips it in right, left-footed, headed away. and then back by Jorginho to Saliba. It was the only pass that was really on. Arsenal midway inside the Liverpool half. Gabriel up to Ødegaard, wide to the left from Kivior to find Nelson. Nelson led with the edge of the 18-yard box. Back in field to Declan Rice. Goes for goal from a long way out. Straight at Alisson.
Yeah, decent shot. Didn't really have the pace, and you're asking something to beat a goalkeeper of his standard from that distance.
And now Liverpool break with Jones over the halfway line. We're in the 37th minute and 0-0 it remains on Talk Sport. Ball shepherded back to Ramsdale by Saliba. And now Rice back to Saliba on the dead ball line, and Saliba very nearly gives it away. Has to go back to Ramsdale, who then clatters it upfield. Havertz can't bring it down in front of Quansah. And then McAllister fouls Ødegaard from behind. The Arsenal fans and Mikel Arteta want a yellow card. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, as I say, I'm getting a little bit frustrated here that Arsenal don't play it quickly. It was on to spot the ball and play quickly, and they dallied, but they've got the opportunity now.
Saka, a couple of step overs and trying to get away from Gomez. It's come back to Ben White, who rifles it goalwards, tipped over the top by Alisson. White hit that firm and true, a rising drive. Alisson stuck up one hand, fingertips to turn it over the bar.
Well, Gomez dealt with Saka really well, and from the resulting challenge, he's cut across the ball at an angle, not near enough point of box, if you like. But it might have just been rising over the top of the bar, but Alisson done well and helped it on its way.
White looking for his first goal since September. Arsenal looking for the lead in the third round against Liverpool. It's Saka to take the corner. Near side as we look at it in front of the clock end. Saka one arm up into the air. Here comes the left-footed delivery. High to the 6-yard box. Headed wide by Havertz. What an opportunity for Kai Havertz from 6 yards out. Clean header, but couldn't find the target, and somehow it stays out again.
Well, it was almost a mirror image of the opposite end of the pitch with Núñez's effort. But he rose really well there. He was under a bit of pressure from Konate, but he rose above him and it skimmed off his head past the far post.
He should score, surely.
Yeah, he should get it on target, and if he gets it on target, you've got every chance of scoring.
4 goals in his last 9 for Kai Havertz. Addison having to come out and rescue a short back pass from Jones, and Quansah has gone down meanwhile.
I'll tell you what, Quansah's in playing the ball, he's played the ball off his own leg and injured himself quite bizarrely, but he went straight down and called over to the touchline. So I wonder what he's done. It's a real strange one.
And then it was Curtis Jones with the risky back pass that Alisson had to retrieve and just knock the ball into touch. And Quansah being treated. He has been at Liverpool since the age of 5, the 20-year-old, a FA Youth Cup runner-up in 2021, and it was a very innocuous incident. He was on the ball of his own accord, and I think he's done exactly what you said, Stuart. Has he kicked his own ankle?
Yeah, he's kicked his own ankle or jarred his knees together, something of that nature, I think. But he went straight down. He looks very, very uncomfortable. He's on his feet now. He looks very uncomfortable.
Holding his back.
He's got his back as well. Maybe he spasmed his back in that action.
Liverpool will be temporarily down to 10 men. Quansah, who has made his senior debut this season, scored his first senior goal in the Europa League in mid-December. The Arsenal players have just come across the near side touchline to take on water and instructions.
And I've got to say, I've seen one of those back injuries about an hour ago. I think it was Adrian getting a lemon tart, reaching for a lemon tart.
Another one?
In the dining hall.
Another
exactly.
one?
Well, he did overload on occasion.
Ben White will take the throw for Arsenal. 5 minutes of the first half to go. Quickly taken infield to Saka. Saka blocked off by McAllister. Right-hand edge of the penalty area. Arsenal fans upset again with the referee. John Brooks says just take the throw. And now Saka's gone to ground clutching his face. After that, coming together with Alexis McAllister. Martin Ødegaard having words with the referee.
I think the referee's been absolutely spot on here. I mean, 2 players. Saka's just helped it over McAllister's shoulder. McAllister just stood his ground basically and said, look, if you're going round me, you've got to go the long way round, or you're trying to run through me.
Words between the two. Another throw for Arsenal. 4 minutes of the first half to go. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. It's live and exclusive on TalkSport. If you're just joining us, make sure you download the TalkSport app as well and swipe between TalkSport and TalkSport 2 as and when you wish that way. Here's Rice down by the dead ball line for Arsenal. right by the corner flag. He's managed to find a pocket of space, and Ødegaard, who was tripped, his heels were clipped by Jones. That was all about the dexterity and the footwork of Ødegaard to create that space, and then drawing the foul, and a free kick level with the edge of the Liverpool penalty area.
Yeah, it was, as I say, it was swamped with players from both teams in this corner flag, just to our right, and the ball went in, and it was Declan Rice who said, look, give me the ball, and he sort of worked his magic there and give it to Ødegaard, and Ødegaard's drawn the foul, and Saka's got a wonderful opportunity to pop this across the face of the 6-yard box.
Havertz, Kivior, Gabriel, White and Saliba are all there inside the penalty area. Liverpool have everybody back. Late in the first half, it'll be Bukayo Saka to swing this in, left-footed, high into the 6-yard box, and it's too long, and it goes wide without Alisson having to make a save or a Liverpool defender having to make a header clear.
Yeah, the golden rule is when you've got free kicks there, make sure if no one touches it, it ends up nestled in the far corner, you know, and he just set it out too wide, basically.
That's the key for some of the Arsenal fans to head to the concourse areas ahead of half-time. A bit of an exodus in front of us here. Liverpool have it with goalkeeper Alisson. Clips the ball high downfield, up towards Nunez. The thumping header away by Saliba for Arsenal. Liverpool have it with Alexander-Arnold, fires it over the halfway line brilliantly. Out comes Aaron Ramsdale to the edge of his penalty area. Good starting position for the goalkeeper to hack it clear out of play for a throw.
Once again, it's that man, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Wonderful ball. And as soon as he picks the ball up, Nunez comes back to an onside position to spin into the channel. He knows exactly that ball is coming as soon as this kid picks it up.
Liverpool on a chilly early evening here with Alexander-Arnold floating the ball back to Quansah, who seems fine after his brief injury scare earlier. Quansah under pressure from Ødegaard, and he's given it away to Nelson. Ødegaard onto Havertz, edge of the penalty area. Havertz now to strike it, left-footed surely. He goes for goal, and it's straight at Alisson. Wasteful again from Arsenal. Havertz should have made far more of that. It was actually a pretty straightforward save, and now here come Liverpool on the counter. Curtis Jones over the halfway line. He's got Elliott just in front of him, and Gakpo is square. Midway into the Arsenal half, Gakpo floats it wide to Diaz, who can't keep it in. Too much on the ball from Gakpo. Diaz stretching, had no chance of controlling it, but what a chance for Arsenal once more.
I must say, Joe, Havertz has picked the ball up in dangerous areas probably on 2 or 3 occasions in this game, and he showed me absolutely no confidence that he's going to score a goal, to be honest with you. You know, he's probably at the moment just pleased to get a shot away on target, let alone trying to score one.
And he had the header that was wide, and now a shot from inside the penalty area, clear shot that he should have done better with. Here is Gakpo striding forward for Liverpool, 25 yards out, nudges it to his right. Here is Alexander-Arnold to fire it off the bar, and Liverpool denied by the woodwork this time. Alexander-Arnold with a stunning strike, but it was repelled by the bar.
I'll tell you what, I'm wondering whether the goalie's got the faintest of touches on this, and I think he actually has. Let's have a look at this replay again. A brilliant cross drive, maybe, maybe not, who knows. Ramsdale will claim it. He's not played a lot of football recently.
Jurgen Klopp applauds from the near side touchline. And Alexander-Arnold denied his first goal since early December. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0 it remains. We have had the 45 minutes of normal time and 2 minutes of added time now.
Yeah, as I say, both teams have had good opportunities. Neither have found the back of the net yet, and that'll be the one thing that disappoints them. I think we've had a great game on our hands here, Joe.
Quansah playing it back to Alisson, the Liverpool goalkeeper. Alisson inside his own penalty area here. 20 seconds through, 2 added. At the end of the first half of arguably one of the ties of the round. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0, but not for the want of effort from both sides. Big chances now for both teams. Quansah has sliced his clearance up towards halfway, but Jones, having kept it in, was eventually dispossessed by Rice. A little dink forward by White up the near side right channel towards Ødegaard, and Ødegaard goes down but doesn't get the free kick. He was tangling with McAllister, and the assistant just signalled for a Liverpool throw. Wigan against Manchester United can completes our FA Cup coverage tomorrow night, and then we're into the Carabao Cup semi-finals. Tuesday night, Middlesbrough against Chelsea. Wednesday, Liverpool against Fulham, and then game day back at the weekend. And Chelsea, Fulham, Coventry, Leicester, Cardiff, Leeds, and Ipswich, Sunderland are our commentary matches. We're your home of the EFL on TalkSport 2. We've got more live football than anywhere else on national radio. Bit of a lull in play finally, very late in the first half, about 30 seconds of added time to go. Liverpool have possession, and the Emirates for once tonight is quiet. Here is Gakpo, and 10 yards inside his own half and facing his own goal under pressure on that far side of the field from Kivior, who takes the resultant throw quickly. Here's Havertz up the far side left, back to Kivior again. Havertz was caught. Referee eventually does give Arsenal the free kick because there was maybe an advantage to be played, but John Brooks saw that wasn't going to be forthcoming. So free kick to Arsenal, about 10 yards from the corner flag. It'll be the last action of the first half. Yeah, good opportunity to whip the ball in the box. Just looking off to my right here, there's probably about 30 uniformed police officers that marched behind the goal, went up into the stand, marched back down one area of the stand, and have marched back up again and gone out. I think maybe they're just going for a pie and a cup of tea. Free kick to Arsenal, far side there left. Reece Nelson standing over it to whip it in high, right-footed, headed away, up to the edge of the Liverpool penalty area, smuggled further clear by Elliott, and that is the half-time whistle. So goalless at Emirates Stadium. Somehow Arsenal have had a flurry of good chances in particular. Reece Nelson rounded the goalkeeper early on but couldn't finish from a tight angle. Martin Odegaard denied by the crossbar. Ben White saw his rising drive tipped over by Addison, and Kai Havertz has had two presentable chances but couldn't convert either of them. Liverpool have not been out of it themselves either. The 8 times FA Cup winners. Darwin Núñez should have got a header from close range on target, but he nodded it wide, and Trent Alexander-Arnold thumped a right-footed effort against the bar. It's been closely fought, keenly contested, full of energy and tenacity, full of quality play, but no goals as yet. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. Back underway, no changes for either team at half-time. Arsenal playing from right to left, all in white. This no more red kit to highlight the work being done to combat knife crime. And Arsenal playing from right to left towards the north bank of the Emirates. Liverpool all in purple, playing from left to right. Arsenal, Ramsdale in goal. They're going to throw on the near side of the field. Arsenal deep into Liverpool territory. White, Saliba, Gabriel and Kivior. Jorginho and Odegaard and Rice in midfield. Havertz, Nelson and Saka the front three. I'll give you the Liverpool side in full in just a moment, but Arsenal on the attack. Nelson joggles the ball up the left wing position towards the corner flag, but he's robbed of possession by McAllister, who'll steer it upfield and away from danger for Liverpool. Alisson is their goalkeeper. Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Kwanzaa and Gomez are the defenders, with Gakpo, Jones and McAllister in midfield, Elliott and Diaz in support of Núñez up front. Arsenal now have it on the near side there left with Gabriel. A first half in which there were plenty of goal-scoring chances, particularly for the home team. Lots of entertainment, lots of excitement, but no breakthrough somehow, Stuart Pearce. No, and as I say, I've just seen two examples there. Arsenal have worked the ball on the right-hand side, drew Gomez out of his left-back slot, could have played the ball in behind to Saka, refused it, come out this side, and Nelson's looking to go in behind on the left side, and they refused that option as well. And I think there's just something Arsenal, they've been very clinical with their passing, very good interchange, but they've just got to mix it up and probably go in long behind on occasion, not all the time but on occasion. Here is Ramsdale, the Arsenal goalkeeper, all in black. It was a back pass that was fizzed at him by Jorginho. Ramsdale hammers it high upfield, and Konate and Havertz collide. No free kick given either way by the referee. It did look like an accidental collision. Liverpool have it now with Alexander-Arnold. Lovely crossfield raking ball high towards the left-hand side, and stretching to try and keep it in is Núñez, but he wasn't able to do that, and it'll be a throw to Arsenal in their right-back position. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. 2 minutes played in the second half. Live and exclusive on TalkSport. We'll bring you Wigan against Manchester United in the FA Cup tomorrow night. One of 9 commentaries that will have brought you from the third round. And remember, you can have your say once we're done here in North London. 03717 223344 to speak to Majestic and the former Newcastle manager Alan Pardew in the final word coming after us. The ball is with Arsenal now. On the far side of the field, steered upfield by Rice, but he's sliced his clearance straight out of play, and it's a Liverpool throw. Liverpool attacking the end that houses more than 7,500 travelling fans. Jones back to the halfway line for them to find Quansah. And now Alisson, the goalkeeper, all in orange. Out to Konate. Mikel Arteta issuing instructions, very animated on the near side touchline. Jurgen Klopp watching on quite passively now. Hands in his pocket on the near side. There are substitutes from both teams warming up at the moment. The Arsenal bench includes the likes of Cedric, Nketiah, Martinelli, Nwaneri, Raya, Smith-Rowe, Trossard, Sousa and Walters. And Liverpool, Chambers, Clark, Jota, Bradley, McConnell, Gordon, Kelleher, Gravenberch and Nyoni are these subs. Foul on the near side of the field by Elliott and a free kick for Arsenal on the halfway line, right in between both managers. And now Jurgen Klopp rages at the fourth official.
Yeah, and I think he's got a point, to be honest with you. I think Nelson went down rather cheaply, personally.
Hoisted ball downfield by Gabriel for Arsenal. Saka could be in. He's through on goal. It's Bukayo Saka spinning, turning and shooting. But Gomez did just enough to make a last-ditch challenge, take all the sting out of the shot from the edge of the six-yard box, and Addison able to just pounce on the loose ball.
Well, fantastic ball there, I think, from Gabriel, and just turn the defence and put him in one. And Saka, that's the movement I was talking about. Just a straightforward running behind, but well done to Gomez on his recovery.
0-0 it remains. Both teams have hit the bar in the course of the game. Odegaard for Arsenal, Alexander-Arnold for Liverpool. As Gomez strikes one, that's 2 or 3 yards over the top. And Joe Gomez continues his run of having never scored a senior goal for club or country. It's still 0-0.
Yeah, that might be one of the nearest he's come, to be fair. Probably a couple of metres over the centre of the goal.
Well, he nearly scored in the Premier League game at Anfield, curling an effort just wide from a not dissimilar position on that right foot infield from the left, did Gomez. That game finished 1-1, and these two separated by 5 points in the title race. Liverpool the leaders, 1 defeat in their last 12. Arsenal just 1 win in 6, and Arsenal 5 points adrift, having been top at Christmas but have since slipped to 4th. It's the third round of the FA Cup, and we're still waiting for the first goal. Of course, a replay, if it is to remain level after 90 minutes. Manchester City, the holders among those through to the 4th round today. Leeds, West Brom and Wrexham joining them. Luton 0, Bolton 0, Nottingham Forest 2, Blackpool 2. The Premier League team had to come from 2 goals down. And West Ham 1, Bristol City 1 elsewhere in the FA Cup this afternoon. The ball is steered forward by Alexander-Arnold, a floated header towards the halfway line, and Jones nudges it into the path of Nunez, who is quickly dispossessed. Arsenal on the attack with Odegaard up the right-hand channel, the far side of the field. Odegaard with the white and red boots on. Back it goes to Saka. Saka quickly infield to Jorginho, trying to float it through the middle. He does a second attempt, and it's headed away by Gomez this time. Flicked further clear by McAllister. And now Liverpool all in purple, breaking on the counter-attack. Forward by Elliott to Diaz. A lovely ball. Diaz edge of the box, tries to steer it into the path of Nunez. It's come back for Luis Diaz. Couple of step-overs. Diaz thinks about a shot, robbed at the last by Rice. And this time it's Liverpool who are rather careless with the final touch in attack. Now Nunez for them. Corner of the penalty area, back to Luis Diaz, who shapes to open up and shoot. Chips it into the chest of Nunez, who could hardly bring that under control. Hooked away by White up into the dark evening sky, and out of play for a Liverpool throw, and goalless it remains.
Yeah, a lot of energy and bluster there, but a little bit scruffy. I find sort of Diaz and especially Nunez a little bit scruffy with their final pass or their first touch on the ball.
Liverpool not able to convert. It was Arsenal who had the lion's share of the chances in the first half, but Mikel Arteta's team were profligate. It's been very entertaining nonetheless. The ball is hammered up the right-hand channel by Alisson for Liverpool. Diaz has got in front of Kivior. The angle tight. Diaz chips the ball towards the back post. Nunez brings it down. Nunez on the edge of the penalty area, onto his right foot. He's got options to his left. Nunez has still got it. Wide left to Jones, who then curls it harmlessly high over the top. He's been on decent goal-scoring form of late, Curtis Jones, but that lands straight into the lower tier of the clock end.
I'm not sure how Kivior gets in so much trouble with just a straight ball, really. They should be bread and butter for any fullback. You know, you pick the flight of the ball up and you get your head on it, or certainly get clearance. If you let it bounce, you're in big trouble. he certainly ended up in a bit of trouble there with Diaz's pace.
No Tomiyasu for Arsenal, away on international duty. Zinchenko still not fit, and Timber a long way away, so we're told. Ødegaard has possession for Arsenal on the halfway line. Given away though to Jones of Liverpool. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. Quite a battle between these two Premier League high flyers, and two sides with such a rich history in the FA Cup. They've won the famous FA Cup 22 times between them. Arsenal 14 and Liverpool 8. Here is Alexander-Arnold, deep lying roll, thumps the ball cross-field from right to left towards Nunez. It's a brilliant pass. Nunez controls 10 yards from the corner flag. Gakpo waiting in the middle for the cross. Nunez to the dead ball line. Shoots over the top, and not by much. What a run from Darwin Nunez after a spectacular pass from Alexander-Arnold to pick him out. Nunez shifted it onto his right-hand side. A screamer just over the bar. Liverpool on top early in the second half, but still 0-0.
Well, every time you think that Trent Alexander's played the best ball in the game, he plays another one that's even better, and that was absolutely perfection there. He's got a willing runner and a willing recipient in Nunez, there's no doubt. But what a pass.
Well, surely it won't stay 0-0 for much longer, and now it's Arsenal's turn to attack. Left wing position is Nelson. Nelson raiding towards the dead ball line. Was that a foul by Luis Diaz? Flinging his arm towards Nelson, sending him sprawling, and a clumsy foul to give away a free kick right by the corner flag for Arsenal, all in white.
Yeah, there was one or two comings together all the way down, and it wasn't until probably they got right to the touchline that he's decided to give a free kick. Liverpool claiming just a shoulder charge.
And as is customary, the Arsenal fans in front of us get to their feet on the near side of the field. Reiss Nelson is the man standing over it. White, Saliba and Gabriel are all forward. Arsenal playing from right to left as we still await the breakthrough in what is turning into an enthralling third round tie. Liverpool have brought everybody back, and the referee, John Brooks, has just gone across into the 6-yard box to make sure that everything's under control. Only Elliott in the Liverpool wall. A free kick a couple of yards infield, very close to the corner flag. Nelson to swing it in towards the near post, cleared away, only as far as Ødegaard, midway inside the Liverpool half. Back it goes to Rice. Rice with a deep ball, charged down, headed away by Diaz for Liverpool up towards halfway. Rice gets to tackle him, but Diaz is there again to prod it through the middle with the outside of his boot. It's intercepted by White. The pace of the game is terrific here. Ødegaard shrugged aside by Alexander-Arnold, who sets Nunez away down the left-hand side. Nunez approaching the edge of the penalty area, onto his left foot, angle against him. Excellent sliding tackle from Saliba. Had to time it perfectly and did. Sharp control by Ødegaard. Tries the 1-2 with Havertz. No foul by Alexander-Arnold again. The Arsenal fans can't believe it. Dink forward by Alexander-Arnold. A miscue in the box. It's come to Nunez. Nunez corner the penalty area, shoots. This time it's charged down again. Electric here on TalkSport in the FA Cup.
Yeah, the crowd are booing that no fouls have been given, but I tell you what, we're just absolutely delighted that they are. The referee's letting the game run, and I think he's absolutely spot on doing so.
Ryan Gravenberch getting stripped and ready to come on for Liverpool very shortly. Suddenly the Arsenal fans are alive with noise again, and Alisson's been forced into an error. He's cleared it out of play. Arsenal throw right in front of Mikel Arteta. Diogo Jota's going to come on for Liverpool too in just a moment. It'll be a double change. There's a foul on the near side of the field by McAllister on Jorginho, and is he going to be called over by the referee? Mikel Arteta marching across to make his point to the fourth official. A double change on the way for the visitors. What a game we have on our hands here, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, you're certainly right. It's swinging from end to end. There's some great talent, there's great challenges. The game's got almost everything. It's got great passing ability, good shutting down, a little bit of everything. Every faculty you would want within a game of football we're having, apart from a goal.
I did wonder whether that was coming. Maybe the goal will arrive soon. Arsenal have brought everybody back to defend this free kick, and Ødegaard is standing over it, midway inside the Liverpool half, about 10 yards infield. Ødegaard threads the ball up the inside left channel. Havertz is onside. Havertz in the penalty area to dink it back across over the top of the far post by Saka. A training ground routine. Liverpool were exploited there. The ball was threaded by Ødegaard up the inside left channel. Havertz clearing the area, dinked it across. Saka couldn't turn it in. Well,
I think it was a great ball played. As I say, they've squeezed up, they've broken the offside trap, and then Havertz has just dinked one up. I thought it was Gabriel who was going to head it just in front of Saka, he's missed it. And Saka really, he just couldn't get his foot over it to guide it on target.
Here are the Liverpool changes. Here comes Gravenberch for McAllister, and Gakpo coming off for Jota. What do you make of that?
Well, Jota's influence when he come off the bench the other day, I'm surprised he's probably took so long. Gakpo not really caught my eye in this game as yet, I've got to say. And no, I think that might improve them a little bit personally.
Well, there'll be no further opportunity for Gakpo to catch the eye today. Jota, who, as you say, got an assist in the 4-2 win over Newcastle on New Year's Day. And on comes Gravenberch. And both of his Liverpool goals have come in the Europa League, the former Bayern Munich and Ajax player. 0-0 it remains as we tick towards the hour mark. I wonder whether we'll see the likes of Martinelli or Nketiah or Trossard shortly for Arsenal. The flick by Gomez up the Liverpool left towards Diogo Jota, who's got bright red boots on. Out of play for an Arsenal throw. Ben White is going to go across to take it. The Emirates is on its feet. 60,000 making quite a noise here, including 7,500 Liverpool supporters. We're live and exclusive on Talk Sport. We've got more live football than anybody else on national radio. The Carabao Cup semi-finals, first legs on the network next week. Middlesbrough against Chelsea on Tuesday, and Liverpool against Fulham on Wednesday. Hull against Norwich in the EFL on Friday night. Make sure you download our app, and that way you can swipe between both stations as and when you want to. Here is Jorginho on the halfway line for Arsenal. Back it goes to Gabriel. Gabriel steers it forward into the path of Nelson. He turns away quickly from Jones. He's blocked off though by Alexander-Arnold, who's almost sitting in front of the two Liverpool centre-halves at times. And Alexander-Arnold has forced Arsenal to go all the way back into their own half of the field. Jorginho threads the ball up to the halfway line and Ødegaard, and Havertz tucks it left to Kivior. Kivior on to Nelson. The Arsenal fans get to their feet again. Alex through to Havertz, left edge of the penalty area, deflected, turned away, Saka far post, over the top again. How many more chances do Arsenal need? Havertz with a deflected cross that Addison dealt with very well indeed on the stretch, but it fell to Bukayo Saka, who hit it first time left-footed, and it was a clumsy effort over the top.
Yeah, it was Trent Alexander stepping out to put the press on the back line of Liverpool, and that left the space for Nelson to receive the ball. And the cross that come across, it looked as though it was looping into the far corner till Alisson just looped it out of the back, flicked it on, and then Saka couldn't do anything with it.
And we've still got half an hour of this to go, and Saliba scoops the ball up into the sky. Arsenal perhaps readying Martinelli very shortly, as Ødegaard pokes it down the right for Havertz. Sliding in is Ibrahima Konate. It's another Arsenal throw. This game is really ebbing and flowing. Liverpool started the second half better, but suddenly Arsenal are having a good spell. 61 minutes played. Rice down by the corner of the penalty area, surrounded by a sea of purple shirts. Liverpool eventually retrieve possession. Nunez, though, has given it straight to Havertz on the corner of the box. Havertz back to Ødegaard in shooting range. Ødegaard forward to Saka with his back to goal. Dinks it forward again into the penalty area. Ødegaard trying to pull it back. It's gone behind, and goal kick given eventually. Ødegaard is fuming with the assistant referee, and here comes Gabriel Martinelli very shortly.
Yeah, as I say, I think it'll be for Nelson. I would fully expect. I think it's Nelson. He's huffed and puffed a little bit, but I'm not sure he's achieved a great deal, I must say.
You're right. Off goes Nelson, and here comes Martinelli. Arteta gesticulating and issuing some sort of instruction. And Martinelli, who has not been in good form in the Premier League. He's got just one goal and no assists in his last 12 appearances. And 4 goals in all competitions for the season so far for Martinelli.
Yeah, and the Arsenal front line just looking a little bit shy. They're creating decent opportunities, but just failing to a man to not take any.
62 minutes into the game. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. The header away by Gabriel, chested down by Jorginho at the left of the centre circle, thunders it through the middle. Havertz is on the chase, hooked away by Quansah from midway inside his own half, the Liverpool defender. Now Jorginho sends it skyward. Saka retrieves it, pokes it back first time to White in the right back position. Now Saliba And Odegaard back to Jorginho, lofting it forward again, on towards that far side, and Saka's brought it down beautifully. He plucked it out of the air. Saka on the corner of the penalty area, infield to Odegaard. He's 30 yards out, he's trying to wriggle away from Harvey Elliott. Liverpool have got everybody back behind the ball here. Gabriel Martinelli, first chance to run at Alexander-Arnold. He's in the area, he's trying to force his way through, and Elliott had to come across because Martinelli had got beyond between Alexander-Arnold and Diaz. Arsenal clear, then Jota and Gabriel come together, nothing given. Ramsdale retrieves the ball for Arsenal, who can build another attack, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, I think Gabriel there just trying to take the ground of Jota, really. Almost obstruction.
And now Nunez for Liverpool in a central position, on to Harvey Elliott, who likes to hit them from range. He shoots right-footed, but it's straight down the throat of Ramsdale. Never really looked convincing there.
No, he didn't. As I say, no punch at all in the strike.
Incredible pace to this game, and it doesn't look like relenting at all. And the crossfield ball by Alexander-Arnold again, right to left. That one is overhit this time. Ended up heading towards the Liverpool fans, who are occupying almost all of the space behind the goal, but in that corner, that far side corner, is where Arsenal will get the throw. 0-0 in the FA Cup on TalkSport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup. 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. At this stage, Stuart Pearce, it's very difficult to call this one.
It certainly is. As I say, it's swinging from end to end. Both teams creating reasonable opportunities, but just that clinical finish is missing.
Absolutely. On a different day, and both sides will feel they could have scored far more than one potentially, particularly Arsenal given the chances they've had overall, but Liverpool have had their big opportunities too. Alisson the goalkeeper. It's going to be a thrilling title race, of course, in the second half of the Premier League season, and TalkSport the place to be for all of the action. And Gravenberch, midway inside his own half, sends it back to Addison. Now Curtis Jones dropping deep in between the centre halves Konate and Quansah. And now out on the left back position on the far side is Gomez, and Jota collects the ball on the halfway line. He's got Nunez to his left. Jota trying to evade the challenge of Saliba. There was a tug back there from Saliba. John Brooks produces a yellow card for the Arsenal defender.
Yeah, as I say, Jota just about to release the pass and put Nunez away on the left. He's just gone to play out on that left-hand side now, with Jota playing as the centre forward, and Jota just dropping deep to just knit things together.
Here's Alexander-Arnold inside the centre circle for Liverpool, playing that inverted role when Liverpool are in possession. Konate on the halfway line. Very evenly matched, these two teams. Alisson forward to Alexander-Arnold again. Lovely little dink with the outside of his foot to send it to his left. Square into the path of Quansah. Quansah races over the halfway line. He's got good pace, the centre half, and he's footed it forward towards the run of the left back Gomez, but intercepting is White. And Saka trying to clear for Arsenal. Liverpool there to win the ball back with Diaz, who works hard, shows good tenacity, and sends it back to the halfway line. Alexander-Arnold is there waiting to pick his latest pass through the middle to Elliott, midway inside the Arsenal half, onto Nunez, cleared away, and then a little touch by Odegaard to Jorginho. He sends it flying over the halfway line. Martinelli brings it down. Doesn't quite take it in his stride, but he's got possession and he's one-on-one with Konate. Heads for the dead ball line, crosses in deep to the far post. Nobody there. Gomez was always the favourite to clear it in front of Bukayo Saka. Gomez goes down expecting a free kick and nothing is given. Arsenal have it with Rice. 0-0 the score. The ball on the edge of the penalty area now with Saka. Right hand edge of the box. Angle is tight. Plays it in field. Cleared away by Jones. Nobody in white was there to receive the square ball. And now Liverpool get it away, but it's back with Saliba on the halfway line.
Yeah, at this stage you can't help thinking the likes of Salah might have been the missing commodity that might have tipped the balance.
And Salah is starting his spell on international duty at the African Cup of Nations, of course. That's why he's not involved today. No Wataru Endo for Liverpool either. Jurgen Klopp had a good laugh about that in the build-up to the game, the absence of two of his key players. And joked that he was desperate for them to come home as quickly as possible. But no, of course, he wishes them all the best. Ball on the halfway line with White. Pings the ball crossfield for Arsenal. Right to left to the near side. Martinelli takes it down on his chest. Martinelli drives towards the edge of the penalty area. He's away from Alexander-Arnold. He's wriggled his way through. He tried to poke it square. Konate made a good interception. Kivior was on the edge of the 6-yard box and Martinelli tried to look for him, but Konate stood strong. Now Diaz almost turning into trouble. Gabriel makes a sliding challenge. Diaz stays down. No free kick. Another good decision from the referee. Throw-in's taken quickly by Martinelli and he gets it back from Jorginho. Again down by the dead ball line. Again he's played it through for himself and from a very tight angle. It's been turned behind by Konate. It's an Arsenal corner. It's 0-0. This is top quality stuff from the FA Cup.
All of a sudden Martinelli's introduction into this game has put Trent Alexander on the back foot and he's been past him 2 or 3 occasions now.
Everybody on their feet, it feels like, at the Emirates at this point. Martinelli, the man who looks like making things happen for Arsenal. He'll take the corner. It'll be in swinging and right-footed. Plenty forward in the Arsenal whites. Liverpool with everybody back. Martinelli, poor delivery. Headed away by Gravenberch at the near post. Really poor. Martinelli will get a second opportunity, possibly. He's 10 yards from the corner of the penalty area, goes back to Jorginho, who scoops it up the left-hand side. Probably too much on that, and there is. And it's a goal kick. And you so often see that, Stuart, don't you? A team creates that sort of momentum in the game and then a poor delivery just takes the sting out of everything.
Yeah, I've got to say, I feel a bit sorry for Jorginho there because Martinelli's rolled the ball back to him and then motioned to go in behind. By the time you put your head down and play the ball, he's decided to drop his shoulder and come back towards the ball, and then the opportunity's gone.
Alisson, the goalkeeper, takes the goal kick short. Just over 20 minutes of normal time to go. Liverpool trying to play out from the back. Eventually Quansah forced to hook it long up towards the halfway line. White there, the dominant force to beat Nunez to it. Steered forward by Harvey Elliott. Nunez will chase it up the inside left channel. He's beaten White to it. Nunez is clear. Square to Diaz. Oh, it's behind Diaz. Diaz can't control it. He has brought it down now by the corner of the penalty area. But the sting has been taken out of the Liverpool attack this time. Diaz taking on Kivior. Was that a foul? He says no, the referee. Shakes his head. Kivior stood up to Diaz. And it'll be cleared away by Gabriel upfield. What a chance for Liverpool. But Nunez's ball square towards Diaz let him down. And now Kivior's fouled by Elliott. And that's a free kick. Jorginho rather foul. Free kick, yellow card for Elliott.
No, for me that's not a foul. I think he's planted his feet, he's played for it and he's gone down cheaply. And the referee's been brilliant today. He's let so many things go and said, no, I'm not giving a foul there because you've just jumped on the floor. You know, and I think he's got most things right. I don't think he got that right though.
What about Nunez for Diaz, Stuart?
Well, really, I mean, he's done brilliant, Nunez. He's burst in behind. He should be taking, I think, one more touch, then laying it across the face of the player so he can finish one touch. And it's that little bit of scruffiness in Nunez's play that probably frustrates Liverpool supporters. They love his work rate.
20 minutes to go, less than now. And goalless it remains. Elliott was booked, and possibly for something that he said to the referee rather than the actual challenge itself. A free kick to Liverpool in the right back position, a throw-in rather, hoisted long by Alexander-Arnold towards halfway. Mikel Arteta jumping up and down in his technical area as Odegaard wins it back off Gravenberch, plays the ball with the outside of his foot towards Saka. Saka's 5 yards from the corner of the penalty area. Saka driving in field onto that favoured left foot. Odegaard almost spun and turned into a shooting position, but Liverpool with Gravenberch stepping across to whip it off his toes and win it back. Good work there from the young Dutchman, and Liverpool slow the play down. I don't think thoughts from either manager turns to a replay at any point in this game unless it finishes level at the final whistle. Both teams are trying to win this. And Konate has won a throw in the right back position now.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Joe. I mean, they're absolute, both teams are at full throttle to win the match. There is no thought process at all about being a bit coy and defensive.
Rice is just inside the Liverpool half. We've had so many clear-cut chances today. Remarkable that it's still 0-0. Forward by Jorginho from the halfway line. And then square to White. White hammers the ball cross-field. Right to left, a lovely pass to Martinelli, who this time takes it in his stride. Corner of the area, one-on-one with Alexander-Arnold. He cuts it back. Poor ball by Martinelli. Nobody in White there to retrieve it. It's won back by Gravenberch on the edge of the Liverpool box, but he's given it away to Rice. Rice quickly on to Saka. Saka, corner of the penalty area, onto that left foot. Curls it over the top. Trademark play from Bukayo Saka, but he couldn't get it on target.
Yeah, he's just a little bit short today. I've seen Bakary play a lot better. Certainly last year he was on better form. He's just not as clinical as I've seen him in previous times.
Well, Liverpool possibly readying a change themselves very shortly. Possibly two changes. I can see Connor Bradley and Bobby Clark, two youngsters getting stripped and ready to come on in the purple of Liverpool. Bradley, a 20-year-old right back, and Clark, the son of the former Newcastle man Lee Clark, only 18. And a double change on the way for Liverpool with two youngsters set to come on.
Well, certainly the danger area of this at the moment is Martinelli. If Arsenal are going to get a goal, it's going to be Martinelli taking on Trent. And I wonder, did you say a young right back might be coming on here? If it is, they might squeeze Trent into midfield potentially.
Connor Bradley signed a new long-term deal at Liverpool in December, did very well in a loan spell at Bolton last season. Ball is cleared forward by White, it's ricocheted off Gravenberch into the path of Nunez. Left wing position for Liverpool, it's still 0-0. Nunez raining down that far side of the field, taking on White and dribbling towards the dead ball line. He can cut it back across, it's blocked. Saka will hammer it away for Arsenal, and Saka's ball is taken down on his chest by Martinelli, but the referees adjudged that that was a handball, and no complaints from Martinelli.
No complaints from Martinelli, but about 50,000 other people had a moan about it.
You could see Arsenal play head down straight away. It did seem almost impossible to control that sort of clearance on his chest. He stuck out the arm. And Liverpool making those changes shortly. Header away by Gabriel for Arsenal from the edge of his own box. And definitely, do not adjust your radio or your app wherever you're listening to us on TalkSport, because there's still plenty of time to go here. 16 minutes of normal time left, and Diaz has taken a swing and has sent Gabriel to ground, and that's a free kick to Arsenal. And here come the inevitable Liverpool changes. The Arsenal fans not happy with the referee, Jurgen Klopp, and Pep Linders had a quick word, the assistant manager, with the two young players about to come on, and it's Elliott going off for Bradley, and maybe Alexander-Arnold move into midfield, we'll see. And the other change sees Jones leave the field, and here comes the 18-year-old Clark.
Yeah, certainly Bradley's gone into play at right back, and maybe that's to stop Martinelli. It's incredible really that you'd move an England right back out of a situation where he's getting exposed slightly, but then again he's most likely to create things for Liverpool.
Bobby Clark's first appearance for Liverpool since November 2002. And Bradley onto the field, as you say, Stewart at right back. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0 with 15 minutes to go. No sign of any imminent Arsenal substitutions just yet. Liverpool next in action on Wednesday night at home to Fulham in the Carabao Cup, live on TalkSport. Ødegaard through the middle towards Havertz, and Havertz couldn't control, a little too much on the pass.
As you say, you wouldn't believe two teams with the quality they got in the front line areas have been so wasteful, I would say, probably with their final pass and finish.
Arsenal haven't got a game for about 2 weeks. The 20th of January at home to Crystal Palace, which is live on TalkSport. The flag up on the near side, that checkered orange and yellow flag. And a free kick to Arsenal on this near side of the field. Some of the intensity has just been slowed in the game after those Liverpool changes, and it was a little scrappy just before those changes took place.
The longer it's going on, the more you're looking at Arsenal and thinking Arsenal are the one if they can keep freeing the ball up to Martinelli if possible.
And Gabriel standing over the free kick, he clips the ball high up the near side left channel, headed away by Konate, and there was a foul by Havertz as he tried to race towards the ball from Gabriel, ended up colliding with Connor Bradley. The Northern Irishman wins Liverpool a free kick. Konate goes quickly back to Addison. Murmurs around us in the main stand here at the Emirates. We're about 20 rows behind Jurgen Klopp as Nunez jumps for a header. He's found Diogo Jota. Jota 10 yards to the edge of the penalty area. He's still driving forward. He's found Luis Diaz. Diaz quick feet, and it's been saved by Ramsdale, who's turned it behind brilliantly, the goalkeeper. Liverpool corner.
Yeah, top quality save there by the goalkeeper. Good interaction. White didn't win the header, didn't compete for the header, and from that moment on, Liverpool were on the front foot. And Diaz has cut across the face of the goal here onto his favoured left foot, hit it through legs, and I'll tell you what, there was a big gap at this near post, and the goalkeeper's done extremely well to get down. Good
strong hand from Ramsdale to keep it out. Liverpool corner in front of the travelling fans at the clock end of the Emirates. 12 to go in normal time, 0-0. Trent Alexander-Arnold to whip it in high, right-footed, Jota far post climbing, hits the bar, Diogo Jota, it drops down to Nunez, who turns it over the top, and yet another chance goes begging, and Liverpool hit the woodwork for the second time in the game.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've seen game after game after game when people underestimate how good Jota is in the air. He rose brilliantly there, above I think Gabriel, believe it or not, and when it dropped down to Nunez, his first touch was good, but I think the pressure from the Arsenal backline on him just put him under too much pressure and couldn't hit the target.
The final word comes next on TalkSport. 03717 223344 to have your say. The ball is up on the halfway line, headed forward by Jorginho for Arsenal. Havertz and Konate collide, and the Liverpool defender wins the free kick. It did look like Havertz was all over the top of Konate there. Can't really separate them too much in terms of numbers of chances created, numbers of big chances created. Only that both teams will feel they should have scored at least once. Gomez racing down the far side, the left for Liverpool, all right foot here really, and playing in an inverted position as a left back. Gomez has slid in into the path of Gravenberch though, 5 yards infield from the corner flag. The Liverpool fans watch on. Gravenberch has wriggled between two white shirts. He's done superbly well, and Ødegaard committed the foul, and that's a free kick to Liverpool in a dangerous position.
Yeah, I've got to say, I'm sure in the phone-in afterwards, people, or probably one or two fans that are here, might berate the referee for his performance. I think he's been magnificent. I really do. He's let things go. He's shied away from giving petty free kicks for players going down cheaply, and it's the only thing that will stop players going down cheaply, to be fair, if we get games refereed like this.
John Brooks is the referee, and he's got all of the big decisions right, you have to say. Now, free kick to Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold will take it. It's level with the edge of the 6-yard line, and it's about 5 yards infield, so towards the corner flag on the far side. Again, it's Alexander-Arnold is standing over it to whip it in, and it's gone in! Liverpool have the advantage. Diaz raced away in celebration, and Alexander-Arnold is taking plenty of the credit. Might well have been an own goal, but it's Liverpool with 10 minutes to go who have the breakthrough in the third round of the Emirates. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1.
Yep, I think it could have been an own goal actually. Jota wheeled away, Diaz wheeled away, and we're waiting to see a replay on that, but certainly it was a great ball into a dangerous area. Any touch at all from that distance, the ball ends up in the back of the net.
And the Liverpool fans go mad behind the goal. 7,500 roaring celebration. Alexander-Arnold was standing over it. He whipped in a devilish ball, right-footed, in towards the near post.
That's an own goal.
And the ball diverted into the back of his own net by Kivior. It's a Kivior own goal, and it's Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1.
I think Kivior looks to me as though he's jumped and he's a bit worried about some sort of contact coming maybe from his goalkeeper behind him. Just pulled his neck in a little bit, skewed off his head and into his own goal.
Well, here comes Eddie Nketiah for Arsenal on in place of Jorginho.
Yeah, as I say, they're throwing the kitchen sink at it now.
And the Liverpool fans, 7,500 hopping up and down and waving their red and white scarves from behind the goal. They have had to fend off plenty of pressure. They've had chances themselves, and finally we have the breakthrough. A throw to Arsenal on the near side, taken quickly, lofted into the box by Martinelli, headed away by Ibrahim Konate, and thundered upfield for Liverpool by Bobby Clark, chested down by Saliba. So Arsenal a goal down. heading for one win in their last 7 if it stays like this. Konate wins it back for Liverpool. A replay may be Arsenal's best hope as Alexander-Arnold sends it skywards high to Nunez. Nunez controls 10 yards from the edge of the box. Darwin Nunez races on. He lays it square to Luis Diaz. Edge of the D, tried to place it miles wide.
Shot weren't on then. As I say, the attack slowed a little bit. Nunez played it backwards to Diaz, and Diaz is rocking on his heels and he's still trying to shoot. You've just got to calm yourself and build the attack from that situation.
Saliba has the ball for Arsenal. The Liverpool fans just cannot contain their delight at having taken the lead. 1-0 to Jurgen Klopp's side, the 8-time winners of the FA Cup here in North London. And Arsenal have got 8 minutes of normal time plus stoppage time to find themselves an equaliser. Almost nothing to choose from between the two teams, but it's Liverpool who've broken through, courtesy of the Kivior-own goal. Here goes Luis Diaz racing down the Liverpool right. Bradley in support. Bradley from the near side channel, back to Diaz again. Square to Alexander-Arnold, and Diaz to the halfway line where Konate is waiting, and Liverpool have a measure of control about the game now, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, they'll just want to dominate the football, Liverpool, even though Jurgen Klopp demands his team go forward all the time.
Here is Bukayo Saka on the attack for Arsenal. On the far side, the right. Eddie Nketiah among those in the middle. Was that a foul by Nunez? It was. Stretching to try and tackle Saka. He sent him to ground. And that's a free kick to Arsenal, level with the edge of the 18-yard box. 1-0 down, Arsenal with 7 minutes left.
Yeah, you've got to admire Nunez's work rate to get back and double up on Trent Alexander in that left-back area. But once you get there, you've just got to slow down a little bit and let the number superiority take its toll.
Oh, plenty of numbers back for Liverpool inside the 18-yard box away to our left-hand side. Ødegaard is standing over the free kick for Arsenal. They've sent plenty forward. Saliba and Gabriel among those. Ødegaard one arm up into the air. He'll deliver left-footed into the box. Headed away by Konate. And goal kick given. Must have taken a deflection of Havertz on its way behind for a goal kick to Liverpool, who lead 1-0 on TalkSport.
Yeah, ball into a really, really dangerous area there. But it just bounced wide and gone behind for a goal kick. And Liverpool will take an eternity now.
Liverpool supporters singing Liverpool songs away to our right-hand side. They've got 2 tiers of the clock end, the Liverpool fans today, because in the FA Cup there's a much bigger allocation given to away supporters than would be the case in Premier League matches. So it's a Kivior-own goal that separates these two. As Nunez takes a quick free kick through the middle. Good interception on the stretch by White, who might have cramp as a result. Arsenal trying to break, but it's been given away by Ødegaard. Is it going to be more frustration at home for Arsenal? Liverpool with Nunez on the far side. Jota waiting for it infield. Jota collects with his back to goal. Teases it back to the halfway line. And Konate in the centre circle. Konate strides on. Chips the ball up the middle. Poor ball by Konate. Through to Aaron Ramsdale.
This is typical Liverpool. We've got 5 minutes to go in the game and still they push forward, they look for the second. There's no suggestion that they'll even sit back and say, well, let's take what we've got.
Kivior has to stretch to head the ball infield from the left back position, and Martinelli nudged it onto Havertz. Back he goes to Rice, midway inside his own half the field. Exceptionally loud noise from the Liverpool fans now. Saliba, crossfield from right to left, header away by Conor Bradley, the Liverpool substitute. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1. Mikel Arteta in conversation with his assistant Albert Staubenberg on the near side of the field about Arsenal's final throws of the dice in this game, possibly in the FA Cup, maybe for another season. The ball's on the far side with White, square to Rice, and now Saliba to Gabriel. Steps inside the Liverpool half, does Gabriel. Wide to the near side, and Martinelli taking on Bradley in a one-on-one. We're in the 86th minute now. Bradley gets the better of Martinelli and has played it off the shins of the Arsenal man, and out of play goes off the Brazilian for a goal kick to Liverpool. And suddenly Liverpool are managing the game very well.
Yeah, they certainly are. So Bradley come on just to plug that right back area against Martinelli, and he got a massive round of applause there from his manager for dealing with him.
And Alisson will place the ball down to hammer the goal kick high downfield. It would be a rare defeat in the FA Cup at home for Arsenal, who are going to make another change, and possibly the final throw of the dice, as I say, for Arteta. It's Smith Rowe and Trossard who are ready to come on in that all-white kit that Arsenal are playing in today. Here goes Conor Bradley for Liverpool down the near side there right, taking on Martinelli. Martinelli holds him up, and Bradley and Jota get in each other's way, and Havertz on the break for Arsenal. Square to Ødegaard on the halfway line. He dinks it upfield towards Kivior. Kivior, the unfortunate man to have scored the own goal. Kanate and Alexander-Arnold do enough between them to thwart Kivior. Brilliant control by Alexander-Arnold down by the corner flag to hook it up into the air, prevent the corner and hammer it away. And here come those Arsenal changes. Wow. Havertz replaced by Trossard. I guess maybe some might be saying, well, could it have happened a little earlier maybe? And Smith Rowe onto the field in place of Kivior.
Yeah, I think you look at the clock and you see there's only 3 minutes on in the modern day game. That 3 could be 10 comfortably.
Absolutely. We'll wait to see what stoppage time is allocated by the referee. And Trossard for Arsenal back to the halfway line now, and Saliba. The ball is with Ben White. He's angled the pass to the right-hand channel and Bukayo Saka. Saka now steers it to the feet of White and Rice in the centre circle. Rice pings it crossfield to the left, chested down by Martinelli, taking on Bradley. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1 on TalkSport. The final word on the way next with Majestic and Alan Pardew. 03717 223344 to have your say. The ball is with Ødegaard in a deep line position. Onto Bukayo Saka, out to Martin Ødegaard, back towards Saka again. He couldn't find Saka, cleared away by Gomez, and Arsenal may be guilty of overplaying there. Surely the shot from Ødegaard would have been a better option. Rather sums them up ultimately going forward, because Arsenal have created plenty, but they haven't been able to take their chances.
No, they haven't, and as I say, they had that spell in the second half when Martinelli was ghosting past Trent Alexander, but since that time things have slowed down a little bit. Good substitutions by Klopp.
And Klopp in the same place that he has been the entire game, on the edge of his technical area directly in front of us here. Just over a minute of normal time to go, plus stoppage time at the Emirates. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1. Saliba threads the ball from right to left to Martinelli again. Martinelli hugging this near side touchline. Back he goes to Gabriel, and Liverpool defending in numbers all of a sudden, and defending impressively. White 10 yards into the Liverpool half. He's footed it forward to Ødegaard, who was chopped down by Gravenberch on the retreat. That's going to be a yellow card surely, and a free kick to Arsenal right of centre. What, maybe 30 yards out? Could they shoot from here?
Well, it's certainly in shootable range, that is for sure. I think if they had Trent Alexander in their team, they'd be shooting, it's fair to say. But Ødegaard done brilliantly well there. Took it on the half turn and just induced the foul.
And it is Ødegaard who is standing over the ball now, the Arsenal captain. And so often so important on occasions like this for the Arsenal team. And Ødegaard has placed the ball down very proactively. And Arsenal running out of time as we tick towards stoppage time at the end of the game here.
He's not shooting here. It's a curler into the far post area.
Ødegaard's floated it in high and headed behind by Nunez. 4 added minutes, and Nunez wasn't too far from putting it into his own net.
Well, Kivior at one end broke the deadlock, and it was nearly Nunez at the other end doing a defensive job who put it in his own net.
What can Arsenal produce from another set piece here? This time it's Martinelli who's going to take the corner from the near side, their left. Martinelli sweeping it in high, right underneath the crossbar, headed away. It'll drop towards Bukayo Saka in the penalty area. Thumped clear by Darwin Nunez for Liverpool. Ødegaard has tried to steer it wide, but he's given it straight to Gravenberch, and Liverpool have got men forward on the counter here. Diaz is racing forward to a square of him. Diaz into the penalty area, squares it towards Jota, but Ramsdale beat Jota to it. Diaz was half tackled by a retreating White, and that was why he couldn't get enough pace on the ball to find either Jota or Nunez, who were joining him in the attack. And now Bobby Clark, the Liverpool teenager, has been booked for a foul. Arsenal have a free kick 10 yards shy of the halfway line. One of the 4 added minutes has been played. Liverpool lead 1-0.
Well, as we said there, Liverpool broke from end to end, got 2 players in support in the box, and just couldn't get the pass across the face of goal to finish the game off.
Saka out on the Liverpool right again. He's got Trossard further forward. He's played it infield towards Ødegaard, who slides in to knock it back to Saliba. Liverpool 2.5 minutes away from victory over Arsenal in the FA Cup. Here is Martinelli. Near side the left, plays it backwards to Gabriel. Everybody inside the Arsenal half, bar the Liverpool half, bar Arsenal goalkeeper Ramsdale. White chips the ball cross field, high towards the corner of the penalty area. Martinelli chests it down, could come for Smith Rowe, smuggled away and comes back to Rice. Volleyed ball out to the right and Saka, looked like handball. Referee says play on, but played back to White. White's deep delivery and taken off the boot of Martinelli via the diving header of Conor Bradley. It's another corner to Arsenal as they seek an equaliser.
Yeah, really good defending there by the young man Bradley at the far post. He's backpedaling, ball just above him, and he just helped it on for a corner.
Well, Arsenal's best hope now is surely a replay, and it's Trossard to have a go at taking this in-swinging corner from the near side of the field. Plenty forward in the white of Arsenal. It's whipped in high. Alisson comes and claims right through a crowd, and that's what a top goalkeeper brings you.
Well, the last corner was headed just in front of him under his own crossbar. That one, he's come and claimed brilliantly.
90 seconds to go and Alisson's thundered the ball downfield. Liverpool lead 1-0. It's been collected by Darwin Nunez down by the corner flag. Nunez taking on Smith Rowe, who's held him up for now. Smith Rowe gets a tackle in, but Conor Bradley has forced his way to the dead ball line for Liverpool. Bradley in the penalty area pulls it back across, cleared away by Saliba. And now Arsenal trying to break. Maybe there's one last attack left in the game for them. Trossard was pulled back by Alexander-Arnold. And another yellow card out of the pocket of the referee, but it's nearly time up for Arsenal. Less than a minute to go here, and 1-0 down to Liverpool. They wanted to take the free kick quickly, but they won't be able to.
No, you can't take it that far away from where the offence was committed, that is for sure. And now everyone's going forward. Two centre-halves are up in the front line. They've got probably 7-8 players all on the front line. They're either going to score or concede.
It's the last chance. Belted forward by Ramsdale, high up into the sky, climbing forward and to head it away is Darwin Nunez for Liverpool. Ødegaard goes all the way back to Ramsdale, who's midway inside his own half. 20 seconds to go on TalkSport. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1. Ramsdale takes a couple of touches. He drives it high through the air, deep into the Liverpool half. Curtis Gravenberch is trying to get it away for Liverpool, and he does. And now here is Nunez travelling over the halfway line and poking it forward to Diogo Jota. Liverpool have got 3 against 2 here. Jota into the penalty area, onto Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz to finish it. He does! Into the top corner. It's a famous win for Liverpool in the FA Cup at Arsenal. Diaz hammers it home, and Liverpool in the end romping clear in North London. What a counter-attack, what a finish, and Arsenal are beaten, and it's Liverpool who are going through to round 4. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 2.
Well, you've just seen what Liverpool are all about. They're 1-0 up, there's 30 seconds of extra time to be played, and they swept forward in numbers, and when that ball hit the back of the net, they had 5 players in the penalty box attacking. They don't know what it's like to see games out. They don't do that. They give you a chance at one end, but certainly they're very, very clinical on the counter. Great finish.
Well, they'd come close on 2 or 3 occasions with that exact pattern of play, and this time Jota picked the pass, and Nunez and Diaz picked out the top corner for his 6th of the season, his first goal since mid-November.
And this is probably why, Joe, that Liverpool are such a threat. They've got such interchangeable strikers. Bringing Jota on, that little pass, he's got a real good appreciation of when to play a pass. And Diaz, all energy, all drive, drove it into the roof of the net.
And the game is won by Liverpool. A famous victory in the FA Cup over Arsenal. Jurgen Klopp's team are through to the 4th round of the FA Cup. Some of the Arsenal players sink to their knees. Chance after chance after chance came the way of Mikel Arteta's side, particularly in the first half, but they couldn't take them. And what Arsenal lack in incisiveness and quality of finishing in the final third, Liverpool have in abundance. Jurgen Klopp's team hit the woodwork twice in the game themselves. It was an own goal that put them into the lead. Alexander-Arnold's corner inadvertently headed into his own net by Jakub Kiwior with 10 minutes to go. Arsenal tried to pour forward in search of an equaliser to take the game to a replay, but they lacked ideas, they lacked the ability to break Liverpool down ultimately in the final third. They'd missed the boat in terms of creating opportunities, and Liverpool punished them right at the end of stoppage time. Diaz rifling home emphatically to make the final score after a thrilling afternoon's football in North London. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 2.